Alright, so for a while now I always thought it would be cool if Doors had a really hard and infamous achievement that could be obtained through a lot of teamwork as well as traveling all throughout the entire game. The content update sort of added this in the form of the glitch fragments and trial and error badge. However, given how its first iteration was entirely RNG based and its second iteration typically involves just subfloors, I don't think it could be really considered that extremely challenging achievement I stated moments ago. Now, don't get me wrong, I did feel like Trial and Error needed to be nerfed because tying an achievement to an RNG-based event can always go south, even though I personally didn't mind it. But this all begs the question, what would an extremely difficult badge quest indoors look like? Well, in this video, I'll be going over my own personal concept for something like this. It is something I'm calling the Sandwich Quest. I'll be explaining how I think it could work, as well as summarizing at the end what could be done to the actual game to implement something challenging like it. So with all of that being said, let's begin. Alright, so I'm sure all of you at some point have heard El Goblino mention how Jeff makes an absolutely delicious sandwich. Well, this quest implements that sandwich as an item you could purchase from Jeff's shop. However, there's a twist. You see, the sandwich would normally not be for sale, but it could only be purchased by those who complete the sandwich quest. In this quest, you must utilize teamwork to gather various ingredients for the sandwich from all around the game. Upon gathering all 7 ingredients, they must be brought back to Jeff's shop so Jeff can use them to create the sandwich, finally rewarding you with the badge. So with that being said, let's take a look at the list of ingredients you need to collect for the sandwich. Now, for basic items, you would need to gather 2 slices of bread and 1 chunk of cheese from Louis. You'd also need a vial of Starlight from the back door, which functions like the sauce for our sandwich. However, notice how there are 3 completely new items. These are all items which have no other purpose than to be just for this quest, and each has a unique method of obtaining them. Now, in order to even pick up any of these 3 items, you'd need a fork. You see, a while back a fork item was leaked to come to Doors, but unfortunately it was scrapped. This sandwich quest is my way of implementing this item back into the game. The way it would work is like this. In the dining hall, which is where you can encounter Halt in the hotel, you can pick up the fork on one of the tables. Upon holding the fork next to any of these 3 new items, a prompt would appear which would allow you to pick it up. Upon clicking the prompt, you would stick the fork into that item and pick it up, adding it to your inventory. So with that in mind, let's take a look at how to obtain these 3 new items. For one, we have festering meat. Every good sandwich has some type of meat, whether that be chicken or beef, but our sandwich here will have this rotting and very unsanitary meat. The way we could obtain this item is by going to a very specific meat pile located in the courtyard basement, as that area of the game currently doesn't have too much functionality. After obtaining the fork, you would need to pick up the pile of meat and add it to your inventory. However, that isn't all though, as you would need to disinfect it as well as by cooking it. In order to do this, you would have to travel all the way to the rooms with the meat in tow, a feat which can be done by utilizing the rift. Once you have the meat in the rooms, you would be able to stick it into the microwave located in the kitchen room specifically in order to cook it, resulting in it converting into cooked meat, the first of the 3 unique ingredients. Next, you'd want to obtain a Gloombat egg. This can be done by holding the fork nearby any Gloombat egg pile in the mines, which would allow you to pick it up. However, much like the meat, the egg too would need to be cooked. This could be achieved by holding the egg and interacting with either a fireplace in the hotel or a flaming barrel in the mines, similar to how a candle can be lit from either of those 2 sources. Upon doing this, your egg would be converted into a cooked egg, the second of the 3 unique ingredients. Lastly though, you would need to obtain a handful of Herba Viridis leaves. To do this, you would need to simply just hold the fork nearby the Herba Viridis to grab some of its leaves instead of gaining its effect. Seeing how getting to the Herba Viridis already requires extra steps, I think it would just be fine if you needed to retrieve some leaves without doing anything else with them. After obtaining all of these items, those being 2 pieces of bread, 1 piece of cheese, a vial of Starlight, a cooked chunk of meat, and a cooked Gloombat egg, as well as a leaf of Herba Viridis, they could all be brought back to Jeff's shop in order for Jeff to create the sandwich and for you to receive the badge and the ability to purchase it for future runs. Now, obviously, after explaining how all of this is done, getting the sandwich would require you to play multiple rounds and take quite a lot of time. This is why I think it would be much easier if the work was divided by a group of people, meaning each person would have the task of obtaining certain items. Additionally, it's impossible for one person to carry all 7 ingredients at once, so working with others is required at the end in order for all the items to be present at Jeff's shop at the same time. Now, in case you haven't realized by now, this sandwich quest is incredibly stupid! Obviously, 6 items, those being the fork, raw and cooked meat and eggs, and the leaves of Herbivoridis, wouldn't be added for a singular quest, and something with the exact same premise is likely to never be added to the game. However, a quest involving teamwork and traveling all throughout the entirety of the Doors world is something I wish to be added, as it would be pretty fun to tackle on with your friends. This video just served as a concept for what this could look like. The current iteration of the Glitch Fragment quest does involve teamwork and subfloor exploration in a unique way, and I appreciate how it has been made to function. However, I feel like those same concepts could be expanded upon to make something truly infamous and memorable. So with all of that being said, let me know in the comments if you think something like this should be added, and thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.